Morning, traders. What's going on out there, guys? Who's ready to get back into the hot seat? We got a lot to talk about here, guys. We'll take a look at to see what's going on in the market. Looks like China stocks are moving all around. We'll talk about what's going on out there, what trades we can be looking at, and of course, let's kick things off. Let's get right to it. We'll take a look at the playbook. We'll take a look at what stocks we can be trading this week. And of course, we'll talk all about the leaderboard. And of course, we all know who took it, but we'll talk a little bit about it here, celebrate the win, and of course, get back to the limited accounts. And you guys know we have that brand new limited account, the super buying power, which I am in the green. I've been battling back and forth up about 386 on that account. Going to push it today to see what I can do in that super buying power account. Let's go get after it. It's, of course, TTP Live. Let's kick things off, traders, and get things started. Google wants 200, baby. You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money.
It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at. What's up out there, guys? Sorry about that. Had to fix my camera a little bit. It's a little slanted. Just give me one quick second here. I want to fix it. And you guys know how I'm a little picky with it, but hey, it is what it is. It's just a little slanted. I was wondering, is my hat slanted? No, it's the camera that's slanted, but it's all good. You guys should be able to see pretty well here. Let's get to the action. Let's share the charts. Let's take a look at what we can be trading this morning. And of course, we'll talk all about the leaderboard coming up in just a little bit here, but let's kick things off really with, we take a look into what's going on right now. What stocks are moving? Well, there's a lot going on right now. Let's take a look at the action here. And a big watch will be the China stocks as China comes in and announces some kind of conversation this morning, right? Of course, China leaders are shifting gears with plans for more proactive fiscal measures and a moderately looser monetary policy next year. The focus, of course, boosting domestic consumption while stabilizing property and stock markets. So, of course, if they're going to stabilize the stock market, that's all you really need to hear. The concerns were with the property in China. Now you're seeing that turn. I talked about how you could potentially see China outdo the American return in 2025. And now we're really starting to get the lift off again, right? We talked about how these stocks would push again. I was waiting for BABA to break 100 again on the upside. And now that we're getting this action, I'm definitely wanting to take part in these rallies. I just need to go ahead and catch pullbacks. You can see it with all different names today. JD.com getting a little bit of a lift. PDD, another one that got a little lift off that 100. PDD isn't getting as much as a lift, and I think this is something to think about in the long run. I know this has been the best of breed in China, but I have a feeling that BABA is going to make a little bit of a comeback, but PDDs might struggle a little bit. I think part of that is going to be, of course, the kind of the export things that are going to be coming in here with tariffs, trying to really stop those things like Temu. Yes, Temu's going to get attacked. I think so. But we'll see what happens right now. Let's go to the overall market. The Qs, let's go. Let's erase all, because that's the truth, guys. We got to erase all and take a new perspective on the overall market here to take a look at what's going on. Now, there is one thing to keep in mind with that China is that they're going to be having a conference on December 11th and 12th, which should get us some news. So if you're seeing the stocks jump into that 11th and 12th, there's a reason why. So there's a lot of unusual options activity, and I'll give a shout out to my man Christian Fromhertz. He put the mention out there of the China unusual options, but I just saw that as maybe an opportunity really starts to show, right? And so I think that that's exactly what we're starting to see. So we can take a look to see how the Qs can perform, right? It's been a really, really strong move. And as you guys can see, we're still not in that kind of oversold territory. I think oversold for the Qs is going to be closer towards over here, where you're back up towards, let's say, 90s or a little bit below 90s is not a bad area to start looking for a turnaround. Maybe we put it by like 93. Right now, we recently went to an RSI of 85, but that still gives room for another leg. Now, there is one stock that's costing us some run today, which is NVIDIA. NVIDIA is actually getting hit on the downside. So this could actually be a negative to technology. Let's talk about what's going on here in NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, of course, is slipping in the pre-market trading after China's regulatory is opening up an anti-monopoly investigation into the chip maker. The State Administration for Market Regulatory launched its probe on Monday, and NVIDIA has yet to comment. But the scrutiny adds tensions in the chip sector, of course. And could this investigation chill NVIDIA's dominance in the AI and chip game? I think this is exactly what that's doing. And we've talked about how there have been profit taking in NVIDIA. I think there's a big level to watch right now in NVIDIA, which is a takedown through the 135. If we take down through that 135, we could be starting to break NVIDIA. And I don't think that NVIDIA is going to go back down to, let's say maybe double digits, but could it be kind of stuck between 100 and 150 in next year? Yes, it could. So I'm watching to see different names to see if there's more rotation to the other names, which is rotation to Apple, rotation to Microsoft, rotation to Google, rotation to Meta, rotation to Tesla. And Tesla up big as more announcements about FSD keep coming out. And the truth is that we all know FSD is going to get probably approval for full autonomous drive. And if it does get approval for full autonomous drive, well, there you guys have it. Tesla will not be the same company after that. And I think that that's exactly what we've seen. I talked about recently how we could get a breakout above the 350. And boy, oh boy, did we get it. We broke above last week on Monday, held that on pullbacks, and now continuing almost to 400. And that's what's keeping the Qs up higher, guys. If not, the Qs would be lower with that NVIDIA action. But I think that it still could get hit harder. There's also downgrades today in AMD. And also shows me what? More concern. Now, I talked about how this was a support area that kept holding. This could be taken out today on the downside. So if AMD goes through that 132, it could be way down there and really start to break. So this pattern has been trying to hold on. But at this point, AMD looks like it doesn't want to hold on anymore. There was also a downgrade in an upgrade in Macy's that I'm seeing getting a nice little lift this morning after people were all scared about Macy's when they put out that kind of news that was down here on the 21st. That's getting a nice little jump today. I'll be watching that one with Nike today as one of my top watch on the playbook is Nike. So I'll be seeing if this can get the move back above this high here, this 81.18. If it can get a move above that, I think we're looking good for Nike in the holiday time. And I'm going to be looking for a filled gap here, guys. And this had tried to make an attempt to fill that gap and then came right back down. So let's see if it can get up there towards that 92 area. And that's really where I'm going to be calling it up there. Maybe even a little bit below that. Maybe it just fills this gap here towards this low here. So the low there is 87.71. So let's try to get it to there. 87. Let's see here, 87.71. I can just right click it. That's the way I like to fix it sometimes if I want to put it on this exact spot. All right, so that's going to be your gap area to fill. Let's see if Nike can really start to get back up above that 81.18 and go to fill in this box. That would be a good outlook here. I'm going to paint this as green just to show it if we can get that move. We're looking for it. Let's see what happens. I also like the hourly. If you look at the hourly or maybe just the 4 hours so that we can see multiple days here. Look how this added support really held. And so this 77.60, 77.50 area really holding well. Now I'd look for this close to kind of hold on any pullback. So right here, this is right here around 79.39. So that's going to be 79.40 if you want to round it up, or 79.50. I'm going to be looking for pullbacks to that area to see if we can hold that and then make the move higher. And you can see right now in the pre-market, we're lifting here towards the 80. It's not a bad one to watch. We'll look to see what happens there in Nike. All right, let's go ahead. We can catch some comments in the chat. What's going on out there? Day trade with Tony in the house. What's up out there? LDTC waiting for it if it breaks too. We'll see if it get that break. Good to see you guys out there. Definitely smash the like. Definitely had a great weekend. Spent some good time with the boys. They're getting bigger and bigger. teething and teething and fighting the crib, man. It's, you know how it is out here. Uh, Nothing like having twins, I'll tell you that much, guys. All you singleton parents out there, you guys don't know what it's like to have twins, right? Today, we'll be watching what happens in the Chinas as you're seeing yin already up here, getting a nice little lift here. Not a bad little move from 815 to 8 right now in the last 33 minutes, up 49 cents there on yin. You can look at FXI. You can look at a bunch of China different names today, guys. They're all going to be looking a little bit stronger. Let's see if they can hold on and keep moving. Now, SoFi did get a downgrade today. So if you're wondering why SoFi is taking a hit, well, that's why you're seeing that on the downside. And then we got, of course, Palantir on the upside move with some more contract conversation as this is just taken off. But one thing I will say is that we're getting back towards the overbought area on Palantir. And I think that we're getting close towards a turnaround on Palantir. I know this has been an absolute monster ride, but I think this has just a little bit more to go. Maybe even today could be that type of day. Another thing that's pointing me to that is you're seeing we're starting to break the Bollinger Band on the daily. When we start to do that, that's already a warning sign for me that we're getting closer and closer towards topping action. Does it mean that you got to go shorting Palantir? No, but it could be one that we could look for a potential turnaround on a weekday. So on a day that we can get some weak action in tech, that's going to be the areas that I'll be watching. So I'm watching these kind of drives up, and we can see like 1, 2, 3. This is kind of like that fourth drive in the recent action. So I'm going to be looking for that to drive and fail at some point back down below the 80. So that's the spot to watch there on Palantir. Eventually a turnaround back down through 80 would be definitely a sign for some turnaround action. I think we're definitely getting closer and closer towards that on Palantir. Maybe one grind up higher. Maybe it gets to 87 today, maybe even 90. But I don't see 100 in play for Palantir. All right, guys, what's going on out there, George? Just listening, not trading today, but listening to the side to keep up with the day's action. Yeah, that's what it's all about, George. I'll try to do my best to keep you up with that action. And if you're looking around or have any questions about certain moves out there, make sure to drop them in the chat. We can talk about them. That's what it's all about. Hi, how are you doing out there? Ahmed Axon from Facebook. So shout out to you guys out on the Facebook Live. Is there any demo accounts available? 1,000%. We have a demo account for you right there on tradethepool.com. So just go to tradethepool.com, sign up today, my friend. Check out that demo, learn how the platform works, and of course, check out our brand new limited deals that are going on right now. All right, guys, what price do you think you got in the competition, or what place do you think you got in the competition? I'll tell you one thing, really, really bad. And that was on my fault, right? Because I tried to push it on Thursday. On Thursday, going from Wednesday to Thursday, I had a nice $20,000 trade that I kind of gave up because I was looking for a little more. I was trying to push it towards like 30 and 40. Hey, and that's how it goes, guys. But the competitions are hard, right? I can tell you guys on the prior one, I was able to make the top 20. In this one, I was not able to make it in the top 20. Hey, and that's how it goes sometimes. I went through a rough week last week. I just hope to have a good week this week. And I think that that's what happens sometimes. You can just run into a bad week. Hey, and that's how it goes. We all can't be like my man, which we'll be announcing in just a short minutes. At 9 a.m., we'll talk about the celebratory, of course, of the top 20 places. I have you guys out there. We'll be talking about it in just a second, guys. Let's get back to the stock trading action. We'll take a look at some of the action out there. And if you guys got a stock, keep throwing them up. We'll catch some of the conversation in the chat. All right, guys, of course, the Fed rate cut is going to be what's going to be on watch this week as we're looking at what? We're looking at getting more information about that. The Fed rate cut is on when? It's on my birthday, guys, on December 18th. So put it on the calendar. Put a big circle on it there, guys. Mitch's birthday, Fed rate cut, December 18th. Now pricing in 90% chance of that Fed rate cut. Unemployment, though, ticking higher. fueling some dovish sentiment. The next hurdle, of course, Wednesday's CPI report, as we're expecting a slight uptick in inflation. Yes, I said that, a slight uptick in inflation. That could be some negativity that could bring into the market this week. It's not just going to be pure rosy outlook for the rest of the year. There's going to be at least 1 week here in December where we're going to chop around. So, of course, what are we looking at? The potential Santa Claus rally, as Santa Claus rally is supposedly said in statistics that it's the last 4 days before Christmas, right? Well, we'll see how that works, right? That goes into next week's action and the following. But this week is that lull in the chart, right? A lot of times we get some good early seasonality in December. We get this kind of middle week where we're just kind of deciphering what's going to happen, and then we can get those bigger weeks with the Santa Claus rally. The way that I see it, we might run into a little bit of some pressure, and a lot of this I think is just more some selling off after the recent rally, and then we can catch maybe some pullbacks to look for the last rally of the year. We'll see what happens out there. Turning 25, says Vic. Vic, I'll tell you guys out there, you guys guess the age. If someone guesses it, I'll say it right, but unless it's the correct one, I ain't saying it, Vic. I ain't saying it. Let's just say this much. I stopped counting, my friend. I stopped counting. All right, guys. We'll see what's happened out there. I had a great day Friday. Hopefully that took me to the top third. I hope so, George. I hope so, man. I know that you were probably competing in the competition. I hear you're listening out there. And either way, I'm proud of you, man. If you were close to getting to that top third, I mean, you did way better than me, George. That's one thing for sure. All right, guys, we'll see what out there, guys. Smash the like, guys. Vic saying 35th. John saying 41. Hey, not bad, guys. Not bad. Honestly, you could just be proud of yourself if you made money. Honestly, give yourself a pat on the back and be happy that you were able to make some cash on a hard competition that a lot of people were pushing towards it. And what were they doing? They were blowing out, right? That happens to a lot of people. Can't blame them. Apple, nice $2 range for a couple of days. Yes. If I look at what's on the playbook today, of course, I've talked about already one play with you guys. I've talked about Nike. I'll talk about another one, of course, that's Apple. And why am I looking at Apple? Because I'm seeing the continued sell-off in NVIDIA, and I'm seeing the continued sell-off in Microsoft, and I'm expecting to see continued rallying in Apple. So I'll be looking to see if that can continue to push. Of course, this could all turn around with the NVIDIA mentioned today, and you guys see how NVIDIA is pulling back. We'll see how the market overall handles that action. SPY going sideways off this 607, trying to recover the 608. And make another push. It's 8:55, guys. At 9 a.m., we'll go over the competition and announce the winners. And then, of course, we'll take a look at some action here towards the bell. Seeing some smaller name move right now. Sonn, SONN, just getting a lift here before the bell. Nice little pop here towards about $4. Now has pulled back to the 350. Is holding off around this area. Could hold the 9 EMA and make another lift here. I'm going to try my best, guys, today to not trade so many of the small cap names. I know I traded a lot more of these small cap names during the competition, of course. And I still have a limited account that I can do these smaller names on. But I will let you guys know today I've already taken one max hit on that one. And I'm moving back and forth in this account. And you guys can see it here. This was on CETX. And you guys know it. I always tell you guys how it is. Got caught on this CETX and it was popping towards 4. I tried to get 380s and try to hold on for another pop through 4. It did not work out there in CETX. But it's not all in bad news. This account has been back and forth, guys. I'm down 205 on this one. This is the limited that has a max of 900. I did make some really good trades last week to bounce this one back. So it's kind of like back and forth on this one. Just going to keep pushing it, guys. I still have, of course, the super buying power count that I'll be going after, which I'm up about 386 in. So that's what I'll be pushing today. Let's see what we can come up with. Maybe SMCI gets another lift. We'll see what happens on that one. GME, of course, got the pop last week. We weren't able to talk about that. But I'll be watching this one, guys, because a move through 30 is something that I don't want to miss in GME. So if we're going to pop, I think it's that move through 30s. And I'll let you guys know if we do get that kind of pop. All right, guys, let's keep it going. We'll see what else is out there. Let's keep pushing, guys. 48,000, 50,000. Good money, guys. Let's just say that much. Don't we all wish we had that money right now? ZEO was one that was moving this morning. ZEO got up there closer towards the $4. Let's take a look here on the 1 minute. It was up there closer towards that 350s. Did break the 3 spot there. That's where I was looking at it. Eventually went up and down below 3. Then eventually went to a move to 360. Now has pulled back and reloaded. This one had a lot of volume this morning. All right, guys. And of course, we can take a look at the crypto names to see what happens with those today. Will we get another lift? I think we got to continue to watch that. Of course, there were so many people that were excited about this move on Thursday when it broke the 100,000. We could go for another move right there. So, all right, guys, I'll be right back. Give me a quick second here. I'm just receiving a phone call. I'll take a second here and I'll be right back with you guys. All right, traders, well, I'm back here, and you guys seeing the sun, or sun, get the nice little lift there, almost to $6 there, got to 568. This one getting a little extended, but nice push up there off the 9 EMA there. So it came back to the 9 EMA perfectly off that 335, 330 area. Boom, right back up there, 526, big push there. And we got some other ones making a move now as you guys see these start to push. A lot of times what I'm looking for is up 5% here and 10% here. So if it can be that, that's that double move that I look for all the time. And let's see right now what's going on with some of these. Duo taking off here almost to the $1 there. So that's doing pretty well. And then LICN, another one, getting a 50-cent move there. So nice little move here with these smaller names. And we'll look to see if some of these Bitcoin ones start to move here. Look at BitDeer taking off here this morning. So BitDeer doing pretty well. Now look at the takeoff that's been in this one. BTDR, strong breakout. All right, guys, I'm going to throw off this scanner here. We'll talk a little bit more about what I see going out there, but definitely get ready for the market, of course, guys. But until we do that, let's go ahead. Let's celebrate here because we got to go ahead and talk about the competition leaderboard. As definitely it's time to celebrate as we're going to announce the top leaders here. So definitely, guys, smash the like. You guys were excited about the competition and who would take it all. None other than, of course, we'll talk about it right now, but definitely shout out to you guys out there that competed in the competition. We'll talk about it first with the top 10, then we'll get into definitely all the prize winners out there. So smash the like, guys. We got a lot to take a look at here. Smash it up. All right, let's go, guys. Getting it going here. Let's go. Got the winners right now here. Let's go ahead. Let me put this up here at the top so I can announce this here. And definitely, guys, really proud of you guys out there because one of you guys is about to take it, the extra 160,000 buying power evaluation. And shout out to you guys. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. And shout out to the man, the one, the myth, the legend, the one, the only, of course, Day Trade with Tony. So shout out to you, my friend. Definitely taking the win there. First place winner. You know what that means, right? Like always, man, it's always very proud to see you guys go after it. Get that money, guys. So, hey, definitely shout out to you guys. And shout out for winning this one. So, hey, none other way than saying it. You guys know it. Winner, chicken dinner out there, guys. Winner. Shout out to you guys. Well done. Day Trade with Tony, 96,213. Top trade, 28,337. And a winning percentage of 60%. So, hey, shout out to you guys. Definitely congratulations. That's your first place prize winner, 160,000 buying power evaluation from the Philippines. Got to give a shout out to the Philippines out there. Let's talk about who was in number 2 here, of course. It was Omar Trades from Egypt, winning a cool super 80,000 buying power evaluation. So shout out to him. Best trade on there was CTOR, an $82,000 trade. Yes, you said that right, guys. 82,800. It was his top trade. You guys see it there, 76,000. He was close to catching up with Day Trade with Tony. Just couldn't catch one more runner, and that happens sometimes, guys. In third place and through 10th, I'm going to announce these winners, and these winners are announced and getting a mini 20,000 buying power evaluation. So shout out to you guys that are between 3rd and 10th place here. Of course, we got some different winners out here. We got someone from Australia, Uzbekistan. I'm not going to try to say that name. If someone can say that name, shout out to you guys. But John from United States with a $55,000 trade. And you can see there's a $40,000 trade there. So, hey, shout out to you guys. Definitely. Youssef from Algeria, RKDA, that's a known runner. Really nice win there. Greg Dresser from Ireland. And we got some Hennessy, baby, from US with a nice little win there. Dun Tran from Vietnam is the last one there for the mini buying power, which of course is 20K. So shout out to you guys. Congratulations, guys. So really, really nice win there, guys. Can't be mad at all about that. We'll see what happens with this. And let's go to the rest of it, right? Which is the 11th through the 20th, guys. The 11th through the 20th prize winners will be winning, what, $40 in credits for you guys to be using, of course, in our evaluations. Let's run through this. We got some other winners here. Charles Thomas from Australia, Sinex the Cool, Khan Wong, Lewis, Hassan Ali, George. I see you out there, George. 16th prize there. Not a bad move there. ZJK, Alexander Cardenas, Rafael from Nicaragua. Hey, shout out to you, Rafael. Congratulations. Felicidad. And I hope you're able to get a nice eval with using those 40 credits. And we got, of course, Niha from Hong Kong and Mahmoud from Egypt. Shout out to my man. Hey, not a bad little money to be making. One thing that you can see for sure, we are worldwide, guys. Look how many countries were on this. So many countries competing. That's what I really love to see. A lot of traders out there pushing it to the next level. So, hey, if you won the competition, congratulations. If you didn't, hey, give yourself a pat on the back just for going after it, because the truth is it's not easy to go after these competitions. So I hope you guys were able to learn a little bit about how we could size up and potentially make these cash, right? I mean, just think about it this way. We've talked about it. 96,000, the 70-30 split, it wouldn't be a bad, nice 60,000 or something like that to take home, right? We're all trying to take home some money. So I think this is really something to learn from. Learn how we can size up and take some big money. I hope that you guys learned from the competition. Try not to let it affect you emotionally if you didn't win. I know it affected my mindset a little bit when I did bad last week. It's okay. Because why? Because you care about your trading. You care about how you trade, and you take this on like a professional. So if that's what happened, hey, let's just let that all go to the side. Take a deep breath. Ready to come after it this week, guys. So let's go ahead. Let's get focused again. Remember that the evaluations are 10 times more important than any competition. So let's go focus. Let's be smart. And let's go back into knowing what we do. Another thing to keep in mind is in the competition, you probably got used to hitting the gas pedal, probably a little too much. So be careful today and be smart. I'm not telling you not to trade, but I'm always going to be here to be a nice little voice of reason, right? And what does that say to me is that a lot of people probably learned how to sizing up way too quickly. So when I come back from a competition, the number one thing I don't want to do is try to size up too quickly, because I'm easily just going to blow through my day. All right, guys, I wish you guys the best of luck, and we'll see when the next competition is. We do these all the time. There will be another one. I'm sure it'll be in 2025, but that doesn't mean that you guys won't get another opportunity before then. And don't forget, we have some amazing evaluations. And for those out there that just want to take the demo, we always have the demo available for you, just to kind of keep playing and learning from the platform, right? And you can't be mad about that one, right? Usually 6 months, but I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll see when it comes back, right? Competition pressure got me on Wednesday, took too much risk and hit the daily pause that day. It happens, Mohi. We're going to be honest here, guys. I took 3 of those maximum pauses, guys. So, hey, it is what it is. All we can do is learn from it, right? What were the good things that we learned? What were the bad things? This is where I think a lot of people get out of the competition and they didn't learn something. Make sure you write something down today that you learned from the competition, because this will mean that at least you did the competition and you made an improvement. If we don't make improvements, if we don't understand where we're making mistakes, how do you expect to get on top of your game? We'll get after it, guys. Let's go to the market here. Let's go trading. Let's see what we can do today. All right, guys, I'm ready to get after it, guys. Already these Bitcoin names just lifting off here. So I definitely think you watch to see what happens with those right out the gates. Clean Spark, Mara, all those types of names. The China names, I feel like have a pullback ready for the opening bell. We'll see what happens with those. It's very hard to trade the China names, I feel like, during the actual intraday. I like trading these in the pre-market and swinging them overnight. But other than that, it's so hard to play these. That's one thing I will note today. I do like to play them, but hey, it's not as easy as that. So there's yin and yang is one way to play the leverage plays in China today. Nvidia, is that continuing to collapse here? It is pretty weak here. Let's go to the Qs. The Qs weak also, not really strong here. As I'm talking about it, I'm thinking more and more we could see some potential downside out the gate. So VXX is one way to play this right out the gates. I'll probably be looking to maybe play this. Another way to maybe play this is to look for a little bit of some pullback. Nike's one that I'm going to be watching out the gates too. XRT, retail. We'll see what happens with those kind of retail names. Will we continue to see some lift? Victoria's Secret continuing the strength there. On Friday, what did I trade, guys? I'll let you guys know. I was trading Lulu to the short side and making money. This shows me more and more that even stocks that go up come right back down. And I just played this on a mean reversion play. So every time it kept going to the 15-minute resistance, I kept shorting it there back down to the VWAP and made money on Lulu twice. So we'll see what happens today. Will Lulu recover back to the upside? Really good report. It could keep pushing or could pull back. It's going to be more dependent on what happened with the, with the retail trade, right? All right, guys, we'll see what else is out there, guys. Definitely smash it up. How some people manage more losses than the max limit. Yeah. The reason why that happens, Mohit, is that you get the stop, and the stop is a market order. So it's like wherever it takes you. Sometimes you can easily get over the max limit. But let's keep it going, guys. We'll see what else is out there. Billy is going back up, and this is also a China name. And this one might be a little bit of a sneaky attack. One that might have not been going so much that could get the lift here. We'll see what happens towards the bell. It's 9:18, guys. We still got about less than 15 minutes here before the bell. I'm looking around. That sun, man, went up there to 5 and now pulling back here towards the 460s. Looked good there for the short on the extension up on the third wave. We'll look to see if it gets a fourth wave and goes right back up. Duo trying to break $1 here. We'll keep an eye out on that one. ARM. Definitely keep an eye out on different names out there. What's Planet Labs up to today? Getting a little lift here. Are we getting another move in these satellite names? I'd keep an eye out on that. Black Sky is another one in this very similar space that has been pushing. We could see if SPCE gets a little bit of a love today, but that's more in the ASTS game. So take a look at, that's it. That's what's getting this hot, guys. So here's a little bit of a sneaky play. Wasn't thinking about trading this one, but this is just something I'm catching on the tape. And now that I see it, yeah, the strength there in ASTS, it's trying to break through again. And if this breaks through, that's why I'm seeing PL up. That's why I'm seeing Black Sky up. It's important to know relationships. And in this case, you can clearly see a relationship there. Fubo getting a little bit of a lift. Fubo TV, man. I remember when I called this thing for one of the best moves in its history. That was when it came out, right? And so that was all the way back here on this kind of big rip in 2020 where it went to 50. Your boy Money Mitch was all over that one. Let's see if Fubo can get going again. And this is not a bad one to watch. I think this is something that could get a little bit of a lift here. It's not a bad company. I think they'll still be around for a little while longer. So keep your eyes on it. Let's see if this gets the lift here. Back through, let's say $2. And who knows, maybe somebody else can come in and buy Fubo TV and actually help increase their access to streaming, right? And so that's something that I'm just thinking about. Not a bad one to watch. I don't know if there's any news in Fubo. Let me see here if there's anything actually, reason why this is moving here. All right, so it seems like there's not much out there. There's a grant under New York Stock Exchange listing. I don't know about this one, man. It did debut new CTVs and interactive ads, so that's something to think about. But something to look at, guys. We'll see what happens on Fubo. It's been on the struggle, that's for sure. The gross margins are still fine. The revenue growth is still fine there. I'm looking into fundamentals to see how bad it really is. It's really not that bad. I mean, it is pretty down there, but we'll see if things can turn around there. Let's see what the bearish say. Fubo TV outlook is negatively impacted by multiple fundamental risks, including potential delays or cancellations of live sporting events that could hinder subscriber growth. The emergence of stronger, better capitalized competitors in the streaming market, coupled with increased marketing expenses and legal costs, are definitely hitting them. And they also got a lawsuit against a new sports-focused joint venture. Further exacerbates the financial uncertainties. So there's just some financial uncertainties here that are playing in here. They still have a subscriber bases of 1.7 million. So just something to think about. All right, ETHU pulling back on this one, and this one has been a big liftoff that we were watching. Now we're getting a little bit of a pullback. Riot is also pulling back here. Did Riot have some earnings? I think this one probably had earnings here. Trading lower after they announced a $500 million offering. Not what you want to see there. This one came out just recently. $500 million offering there on Riot. Definitely going to do some takedown, and it might even hurt some of the ones in the industry. We'll see how that one happens in Mara and different action there. So, hey, we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead. Let's smash it up out there. Do you trade your watch list or do you trade new stocks every day? Are you asking me, Future, or are you asking Mohit in the chat? All right, let's keep it going, guys. Future, what's up out there? How we doing? Doing good, man. Family's doing good. Got to go to the DMV today. DMV. Ugh, one of my most hated places. But hey, it is what it is. Got to do what you got to do, right? Let's see if we can make some good cash today, guys. I'm looking to continue making the push. One thing that I've been noticing more and more is that I really got to start taking some of the kind of the smaller gains at some times. Having a lot of times where I'm struggling between, let's say, maybe the 600 to 700, and I'm getting a lot of $500 to $300 gains. So I'm going to start taking those more often. Maybe when I have 400, 500, just taking the money and running, because that's what I'm noticing is maybe the sweet spot in the sizing that I'm using. All right, we'll see how some other names move today. Of course, Palantir, one of the big movers, and ARKK can be a good indicator of some growth names, right? We'll see how these can continue to perform. There's been some names that have been hot. Unity is definitely one of those plays. This is that metaverse style play, and you're seeing metaverse names really get a little bit of a lift there. Meta's been on a takeoff, right? And I've talked about that one before this liftoff, and I talked about it maybe being a Black Friday trade. It's done more than just a Black Friday trade. Groupon getting a little bit of a lift. This is actually a trade in the holidays, guys. It has been taking off that we are completely missing. This is a known Black Friday trade. It's up there 43%. What a move, guys. What a move. All right, in the DMV, meet the most laziest people of life. Yes, Vic. That's exactly. And Future is saying, do you trade from your watch list or do you trade from new stocks every day? A lot of times, Future, because of the way that the show works, a lot of times I'm trading what is moving, right? Because the truth is, that's what I do the show for. I try to tell you guys what stocks are moving out there and what trades are moving. If I was trading on my own, Future, I think that's what I would be trading. More honing in on a watch list. Like you see Par put out all the time, right? You see Par put out like a watch list that he's just watching these 5 or 6 stocks. That's what I like to really go down to. If I was just trading my game and didn't want to tell you guys about anything else in the market because I'm just focused on my game, that's my game, guys. It's looking at my plays in the morning, writing down the levels, right? Setting alerts at certain level. And then I want to trade those names when those price levels are broken. So if they don't break, then I'm not trading those names. But at least I know and I start to hone in. What I would be watching in the overall market and different names is there a theme that I'm maybe not catching? Now, that isn't a slight adjustment to the watch list strategy that I can make. And that's what I try to do here a lot of the times. So that's another strategy of mine that I do show you guys on a daily basis. Like, let's say the China names today. Let's say maybe the lithium names move, or Tesla's moving so high up that maybe some autonomous plays really get hot. So I'd be thinking about that with names like, let's say, Mobileye. Right? So Mobileye is playing a theme type of trade today, back up through the 18, or AUR that was hot on Friday. We'll see if this one can push again. This is another autonomous play, AUR, that's starting to take off. So can we play these? Yeah, I think these are some to watch, right? And you could look to see if maybe we finally start to see a name like LAZR get off the floor, which is Luminar Technologies, which I still will say they did team up with NVIDIA to kind of get their autonomous right. Just saying. All right, we'll see what happens out there. Smash the like, guys. A lot more for you guys to talk about. Keep it going. Let's go. George talking with Mohit in the chat. I'd love to see it, guys. Keep talking with each other. You guys can really help each other more than you know. Do you see Tesla breaking 400 today? Sammy's asking. Well, I can't tell you to trade that, but I can see it maybe potentially at least making one more attempt. The way that I see it is that Tesla pushed out the 390, then it pushed out here to 398, then pushed out here to 398 again, and I think you get one more attempt. Is it a little bit of a push and then a pullback? Then now that could happen. Can I see 400 get hit? Yeah, it could definitely get hit today. You could also see 390s on the pullback, so keep that in mind, right? So 3 points up could come back 8 points down, right? So just keep that in the watch. All right, I said no to do not hold anything for overnight. Now down 348 on NVIDIA on 100 shares. Never again. Future. 1000% agree with you, my friend, especially on the day trade side of things. If it's a swing trade side of things, I understand. And with NVIDIA, let's say for me on a swing, 50 shares, 40 shares is more right. And then you'd be down like 150, something like that. Then you could maybe handle that. But on the day trade accounts, it's very hard, man, to call an overnight swing, get it, and hope make the money, right? The truth is also you have less buying power. So you're kind of caught in NVIDIA trying to see your way out. One thing I will say is maybe look to see if maybe you can get yourself some kind of potential return. But one thing is for certain, when you're playing names that are hot like NVIDIA, there can always be some downside action. 100 was way too much. It happens, future. It happens to me, my friend. Go ahead and give yourself a second and breathe about it, and then keep going after it, right? 50 would have been okay, and I agree. That's why I mentioned it. And I'm not trying to like cherry pick off of it. I normally swing trade with something that can move dollars. I'm looking at like 30 to 50 shares, somewhere in between there. And if it's a really big mover, let's say a $300 stock that moves like, let's say a full point in like a second, or can move 10 points, something like that, I'm looking closer at like even 10 shares. I've made over $200 on Tesla with 10 shares before. So it's just how you want to go about it. But I think that's one thing to think about it. Swing is better for the overnight. I agree. Than just trying to take that day trade account and make it work for you overnight. That's one thing that I would say has cost me also in the past, where I've made a really good gain. And then I'm like, do I want to take this overnight? I can tell you like this, future. I can show you it on GME. On GameStop, I was long overnight from Thursday to Friday, and I was up $300 to $400. And all I did was just leave it open. And what did it turn out to be? A $2 trade. So I didn't even take the gain, yet I even opened the exposure up there that I could have got hit really bad. I woke up at 4 a.m. to protect myself just to make sure that I wasn't going to get wiped out. That's another thing, a nice tip. But let's get to the action, guys. Market's open. Let's see what we can do today. Future, we can all learn from each other. So I appreciate you bringing that up, man. Let's keep learning and let's get after it. You guys know what it is. It's time to go trading. It's time. All right, let's go, guys. Let's see what we can do, guys. Let's go. Let's get that money in. If you guys see any big moves, let me know. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's see what else we got out here. Where we can find some money. GME on my watch. We'll be watching SPY straight down out the gates, guys. That's what I kind of expected there with the downside action there. I'm trying to get the VXX here right off the top here. I'm just going to go small here just to get a starter on and see where we can go with this. I'm just grabbing 200 shares right now. I'm going to hold it off the low, 41.60 here on the VXX. Lulu straight down out the gates there. Saw some downside action come in the market. That's for sure. We'll see if this can actually break down. I'm watching NVIDIA too. NVIDIA is a big sign there, down to 138s. We'll see if Apple goes red and those types of names. That's what could really kind of bring the market down here. Microsoft strong out the gates. That could actually hold up there. Amazon strong. Tesla pulling back out the gates here. We'll see what happens. VIX starting to pull back a little bit on me. We'll see what happens here. Just going to try to hold to a nice, let's say 56 here, which is about $48 in risk here. We'll see if the VIX starts to push back up. So that's a move right back down here. The SPY went right down out the gates there and then caught the bid right on the 15 minutes. So we'll see if that holds there. Breakdown through the 607 today could be some concern. I'm looking into the market right out the gates here. What's leading the market? What sector is leading? Well, sector-wise, basic materials is leading. So silver is having a really nice week overall. Let's go to the daily here. You're seeing copper up. You're seeing silver up decent amounts. So you could look at AG to see that trade going higher towards 657s from a 630 liftoff. So nice little push there on silver. You could take a look at gold. Gold is doing well today. I'm seeing steel up today. That's a trade that I don't want to miss. So I'll keep an eye out on Cleveland Cliff and names in the steel area to see if this starts to come back today. Cleveland Cliff, one that I definitely like off the VWAP right there. It is climbing in the pre-market, has made a huge pullback on the daily, could start climbing back there towards 13 today. We'll see what happens there in Cleveland Cliff. Trying to send an alert there in Cleveland Cliff. It looks good there. Nice little pop towards the 1230s. Now popping to the 1235s. Looks pretty good on that first action here. We'll look to see if we get some kind of pullback towards the 1220s, but good looking action here on Cleveland Cliff. And so with that one, I'd watch X. Is X trying to give it to me? He's trying to give it to me. X is one that I really like, guys. I'm going to keep watching this one. It started to come back down, of course, with the Trump mentions, but I think it could fill this gap here, which is a move to 40 today. So nice little pop off this 39.50s. Good little move here for X right out the gates here. I'm going to look for a pullback on X. If it comes back to the VWAP or slightly below VWAP, I would like to play this. So I'm going to put it at 39.19s to see if it comes back and then comes right back up here. Now the VIX going into the green tells me that the SPY is making a down move here. So let's go ahead and add to the VIX and see if I can make some good money. All right, just trying to play a play right out the gates here to take a little bit of some cushion action here. Let's see if we can get it. I do have a pullback to add here. I'm going to cancel my stop loss as I'm in the green here for the VIX. Trying to go ahead and push here. Let's go, traders. All right, guys, I did see some comments in the chat, guys. Unfortunately, I don't control the leaderboard on that action there. I was just given the top 20 to announce this morning. Mohi, anybody out there that has any questions on the leaderboard, I would reach out to our customer service team to go ahead and address that. All right, guys, I'm going to focus on my trading action here. VIX starting to get back up there, 41.90s. I'm seeing the Qs straight down there. So is the SPY. We could have a little bit of some tough opening here. The Lulu coming back. Now, that's one that I'll keep on the radar. I also like Nike today. We'll see how that one performs, but it is pulling back out the gates here. Energy getting a lift. XOM, something to watch there. Some cyclicals up. So I'm looking at what's down. Also, what's down today is technology. So that Nvidia move is definitely costing some right now. So you can see that Nvidia is pretty hit there. Apple making an up move. Will it hold green is very important. Amazon green also. These need to hold. Microsoft just pulled back to the 442s, was all the way up there to 445. So let's see what happens here. Now we're starting to get a little bit more of a push in the VIX here. I'm going to go and add here and then going to hold break even. Let's go ahead. I just went for another ad. Now it just pulled back there. So I'm looking for an ad here, but I'm not getting the ad right now. All right, just added on that. Now I got 41.88s here for the VIX here. Going to go ahead and hold break even. Look to see if I can start to get this to push. All right, now the stop loss into the green here. Just want to see if this could really take off. If it stops me out, break even, so be it. Looking for the break above the 42s for it to start to push. All right, let's see if the Qs want to come down or not today, guys. We'll see what happens here. Amazon right around the VWAP. Qs coming back to the VWAP. Will it reject the VWAP, go right back to the 525s here, or will we break above it? What's doing well in the Qs today? Well, let's take a look at that. Warner Brothers doing well. WBD up 2.69%. Not a bad one to keep an eye out for. It's now back above the 11, making a move as it's been slowly climbing the 90 MA and trending. All right, VIX is pulling back here. Could cut me out, but it is trying to make another lift here. Let's see if it just holds on for me. My phone trying to talk to me over here. All right, we'll see what happens with the VIX here. I'm watching the Qs and the SPY. They're pretty weak here out the open. Lulu strong, not a bad name that's bouncing back. I'm looking into the market here, see what else is kind of trading here. We'll go to the heat map to see what else is kind of getting the lift here. Intraday movers, I'm looking for what's leading here to give me some sign of what type of stocks are moving out there. Futu getting a little bit of a lift. Sun up big. We'll look to see if that Sun keeps going on those smaller names, but I'm not trying to trade those too much today. Let's see what happens there. Now just got to pull back to stop me out there. We'll look to see if the SPY comes right back out there. You guys can see I lost about 16 bucks there. That's not a big deal for me. I'm just watching to see if the SPY is going to come down here. If it is going to break, I'm willing to add and get right back in here on the VIX. All right, SPY looks pretty heavy here. Now we can go for that breakdown look. I'm going to go for it here, guys. Let's see if we can get a little bit of lift. I'll be tight on this and see if we can push. All right. One thing that I could look at is like Microsoft, Amazon, and the Qs. Amazon bounced there. So the Qs are a very important watch here. If the Qs can get back above the 526, I think we start to lift here. If not, we could break the 525 on the downside. Trying to see if the VIX can VWAP bounce here right back through the 42. SPY just went red. That's a good sign for me at least. Let's see what happens here on the Qs and see if the Qs go red. Qs chopping around out here. Could go right back to the top end of the range. We'll see what happens. SPY making a hard down move there. Three bottoms around 607.30s there. How's Nvidia doing? It's trying to come back. Let's see if Nvidia gets shorted here. NVDL, it could be one way that I could short NVIDIA or long NVIDIA above the 72. There's two different trades there, but there's definitely some trades to be made right now. So you can see it right on the chart there, that NVDL. All right, guys, break even now, guys, as this comes to the 4190s on the VIX. So looking good there if it can break above the 42s and start to push. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add above this into the 42s. All right, stop add. They go ahead and add here. If it can start to pop there, I'll look for an entry. Up about 30 bucks on this, looking for the Qs to come right back down there and NVIDIA to break down. If NVIDIA rejects this 139, it'll be looking good to break down through the 138. If not, it could start to come back and the Qs could start to come right back up. So if you're looking for a bullish move, there's Soxel going higher. That can hold the move there. Amazon, though, pushing strong there. Getting Microsoft down, though. A little bit of some mixed noise in this. The SPY is still pretty weak. Canceling my stop ad there. Now I'm into the green about 50 bucks here. So just want to make sure that it starts to push here and that I at least make a nice green trade off of this. There's the pullback right back down here. Now the lift right back to the 42. So need to see the Qs reject here, and then I could actually go for an ad if it breaks down to the 525. All right, looking around the sectors out there, basic materials still leading, cyclicals right behind that, energy behind that, and technology starting to play a little catch up. Pulled back as the Q's right there for a little bit of a lift off. We'll see if it starts to push or not. Microsoft pulled back a good amount. How's Apple? Apple's right on the VWAP, so Apple's holding pretty well there. I think a big watch for me is just this NVIDIA. See what happens on NVIDIA. Tesla itself back at 398. Did break above 400. Did go above it. Now pulling back on it. So just be careful on that one. That Tesla, she's a dragon. Hard to tame, that's for sure. All right, guys, let's go. Let's go, guys. All right, LDTC, congrats to the winner. LDTC getting up there towards 150s. We'll look to see if it goes right back. VIX just moving all around here. It's SPY on the lows. We'll see if the Qs go. SPY still just chomping around out there. I'm still putting break even here because I'm just looking to see if I can at least catch the momentum in the right direction. If I'm just taking these small little stop outs, even $2, $16, $20, those are all going to help me in the long run. When I find the trend, I can make the money. And that's the important part. A lot of the times is not trying to spend too much money when I'm not finding the kind of the trend and then going ham. Man. XPEV, good action in those names. So the EV names are doing well in China. That's one thing I'd look at. BABA also, nice little lift off the 92. So the China names are doing really well. If you're looking at a bullish trade, that's a bullish one. Yin doing really well. 35s to 36 out the gates. Now looking for potential pullbacks on those names, but good action here to start it off. PDD, nice lift off there also. So you're definitely seeing the action. SPY bouncing, so is the Qs here. Could bounce and get me out of the VIX. The Qs going right back up there, so that makes me look at like Microsoft or Apple, names that have pulled back. Apple breaking the highs, Amazon breaking the highs, Meta trying to hold on there. We'll look to see if Microsoft goes right back up there. Is Nvidia pushing? Yes, it is. So I don't see the VIX trade working out for me right here. I'm just going to hold the break even stop out right now, because if for any reason some kind of crazy move happens, at least I had the potential. INOD, yeah. INOD with a big lift off there, 5290s. This one off 45 today in the technology space, and big push. All right, guys, let's take a look at what's up in the last 15 minutes. So I'm just going to look at what's up in the last 15 minutes to show us like some of the best movers. All right, so Duo still looking well. That just pulled back off the 125. BCTX, technology, biotech name that's kind of hanging in there. Qs just went all the way up there to 526. Now starting to get weak. The SPY still weak there, guys. Still weak. I'm risking about $8 now. Gave myself a little bit in the red there just to give myself a potential if this just really goes fast here on the SPY and the Qs down. Whew, back and forth right now, guys. They're pulling it back on me. Might cut me out. They're spreading it out on the VIX, though. I feel like you were about to get a move here. Yeah, it just got cut on the VIX, but we could get the move now. I think you got to continue to watch it. The SPY's still weak here. I'm just watching to see if the Qs can break above the highs, because, yeah, Apple can always turn things and just keep things going. Look at the strength in Apple, man. I'm telling you, the sell-off in Nvidia then turn to Apple is really big. That's what I see, at least. All right, Nvidia now back down there. NVDL looks good for a potential short opportunity there. I'm going to look at that one. I know that the VIX has been kind of tough to play as of late. All right, let's see what happens here. So we got up one, down one, up two, down two. I'm looking for one more attempt up move here in NVDL and then it failing. See here on the 15-minute. Yeah, right about here where it could fail. So let's see it go one more time, trying to break this 72.76, and then I'll look to see if it turns back to the downside. Looking at the Qs here, the Qs are still trying to break through the high, but haven't gotten through that. So I'm watching that action here. SPY now reversing back towards the 607.50s. So that's one to watch there. Silver pushing, man, 670. Gold doing well there. Cleveland Cliff also a nice little push off that 1225. Got there to the 1250s. X trying to give it to you. It's pulled back to the VWAP. We'll look to see if X goes right back up here, 39.75. NVDL just rejected that, so that's looking a lot better now. Just watching the Qs lift off, though. The Qs just trying to push here and rise the tide here. NVDL rejecting that move there. Still looks good for the short. It's about 20-cent risk right now if I got in. All right, let's go for it. I'm not going to double think it. I'm just going to go for it. I just went with smaller size so I can handle the pushback. All right, there we go. First action looking great on that first action move there. Now I'm going to look to add in just a second here on a little pullback here. What? Just got stopped out of there, guys. Sorry about that. Let's see what happens here with the Qs and the SPY. That was weird. That got stopped out there. Let me see. Yeah, I think I got stopped out there on NVDL. I think I've lowered it for a second there. All right, well, getting that downside action definitely now in NVIDIA. So missing the first 30 cents there, first 20 cents there, but definitely seeing that downside come into the market now. Now NVIDIA is really dropping there. So I just missed that trade there. Messed that up there, guys. I don't know what the hell happened to me there. I don't know if I lowered the stop or something. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah, it looks like I think I lowered it down to the 26 for some reason, and then it just hit me. But it is what it is, guys. It's got stopped out, break even there. Looking for to short this NVDL. All right, we're getting a little bounce back here. The Q's coming back a little bit there, but yeah, starting to lose some altitude there. I'm looking at Apple as a sign, and Apple's just continuing to go. So who knows? Maybe we can just catch the pullback and then it starts to lift there. Microsoft has been such a strong name, pulling back to the 440s here, trying to reload. So I think that's an important action there, off right above the 440s there for Microsoft. It's trying to get right back up there. So we'll see what happens here. Tesla back up there. We'll look to see if Tesla can make the move through the 400 now. NVIDIA just jumped right back up there, and the SPY still kind of rejecting. So is the Qs. It's back and forth today, guys. A little bit of some kind of back and forth action, and a lot of that is the back and forth that I'm seeing right now in NVIDIA. So it's trying to make another breakout attempt here. Let's see if the Qs break out to the upside here, or do they make a hard downside action move? VIX is just sitting right there. So the VIX hasn't moved at all. Lulu doing really well. Got up there to the 410 today, but could start to pull back. This has just been a really good move there. XRT doing well, and some of these names are still doing decent today. Foot Locker is doing decent. That's interesting. Nike, I'm looking to see at some point if it could come back, but right now, not coming back. All right, what's up out there, guys? How we doing? Good to see you guys. Too late to short anything. All right, guys, was looking around out there. Yeah, that's the best suggestion, guys, is just reach out to the leaderboard on that action. NVDL now ripping here. So, hey, who knows? Maybe it was a good thing that I got cut out of that. Now I'm starting to see some upside action come back into the market. So Mobileye, one that was on the radar because of the Tesla breakout. And look at the move in Mobileye. This pullback to the VWAP should have definitely been one to play. That was on me, guys. That's a nice breakout there in Mobileye. AUR, how's that one doing? It's pulled back a little bit here. We'll look to see if it starts to make another move to the upside. LAZR, one that I talked about a little bit earlier, now starting to hold that 9 EMA, looking for a little bit more of a breakout on that one. But the hourly coming right into play around the 850s. So could do a little bit of a pullback here, but nice little action there on LAZR. We'll see if it comes back to the 25s and then goes through towards the 50s. It did right here at this 825 pullback. Really nice pullback there. Let's see if it gets to the 850s. Mobileye leading that action there. So I'm seeing some other names up in that similar space. So just keep your eyes on that space. We're definitely seeing that push. QuantumScape, another one, battery play that's making a nice little move. How those lithium plays moving today? Yeah, nice little push back there in LAC, PLL, one that I've been talking about that I think is definitely on the radar to take a look at it, especially based on the daily chart. Nice little push above the 12s today, almost to the 13s. We'll look to see if it pulls back, but really nice action here on this PLL. SGML also doing well. I'm starting to see these lithium names starting to do pretty decent. CCJ pulling back a little bit today. Nano Nuclear, we'll look to see if this gets going. SPY still chomping around out there, though. Still the weakness out there, guys. So just want to put that on alert there. I'm still seeing the weakness. I'm not seeing the downside come in, but the overall market is just not moving right now. And the Qs look weak here. Look like they want to tumble. NVIDIA could be just making a little bit of a blow off top and then starting to come back down. I mean, this is just back and forth out there, guys. Just be careful. LAZR now to the 840s. We'll see if that one can continue to run. But Mobileye, big push up there to the 860s. This one closed the gap. Daily looking good in Mobileye. Making some money in yin. Let's go. All right, we'll see what's going on there. Let's see. Let's keep pushing there. Mobileye to almost towards 19 today. That could get up there. I'm seeing some multiple names in there in the vehicle space, so that could be another push that could help Tesla continue to push there. It has been pulling back. We'll look to see if we get another drive there in Tesla. It's right on the VWAP. It's trying to make the move, but I think the Q slowing up there is definitely not something you wanted to see. Apple now pulling back there. Microsoft right on the VWAP. Amazon now pulling back, not looking as strong as it was. I'll tell you that much. VIX looking like it's down right now also. So I think that's what you're seeing. A little bit of some mixed noise here. We'll see if the market wants to start coming down now. Seeing that downside coming in, it's making me want to short NVIDIA again, but all right, I'm going to try the VIX one more time. I know I've tried this a couple of times already, but seeing the action in the market just gives me that sign. There's some more downside coming in. All right, I'm going to take a shot here on the VIX. Big thing for me is just, I don't know if it's the Qs just grabbing my attention, but I see such weakness there. Could just be me, guys, but I'm watching this 15 minutes and I'm just looking at it and it keeps rejecting on that. So let's see if it breaks it on the downside. I think whichever way this goes, I think I really got to start trading this way. So I'm going to already just set the lines. And from that point, just start trying to trade off of that. All right, so above, back through the 526, a 5-minute close above that. Later, in the next, let's say 10 minutes or something like that, I'll start trading to the upside. Back below this 525, 40s, it could start being that downside pressure. All right, guys, just down 39 today. So back and forth on the battle. All right, we'll see if the Qs start to break here. All right, we'll see what else is out there, guys. I'm looking around. Q's just still chomping around out here. Getting some downward pressure here on my trade, but it still looks good there. It's just a spread widening. This 425.60s is so important on the Qs right now. Getting pressure now for sure. I'm about to get out of this VIX trade. Just going to establish the risk here, which is about 72. Just got more volume to come in there. So looking to see if that was just a buyer and then just pulled it back. Now the Q's come into this 426 area where we talked about it. Does it reject there or does it go above it? SPY's just chopping back and forth here. Lulu pushing strong there. Market's still looking a little heavy here. Just doesn't want to get going here, guys. I feel like it's trapping somebody on the upside. All right, let's see NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a good sign of this. Let's see if NVIDIA starts to come down now. I like that short for NVDL now. All right, just taking a little bit there. Risking about 70 bucks right now. Just trying to move back and forth here between the VIX and the NVDL. All right, if we start to squeeze, there is a name starting to get into the green that I'm watching, which is GME, but Apple holding really well there. Microsoft trying to recollect 443, so that could be a bullish trade if you're looking for one. Microsoft looking like it wants to recover that VWAP. Q's just rebounded a little bit. Still like kind of just trading in between this right now. Honestly, don't know which way it's going to go right now. It's just back and forth. Apple says upside, but that's if you want to trust that, right? All right, guys, what's going on out there, guys? Standing up to trade now. Mitch, have you ever tried that? I actually really like that idea, Future. I've always wanted a standing desk. I think I would have a lot of fun standing. I like being that, that athletic type of person. I like to work out a lot, things like that, like to stay in shape. So I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's something that I definitely need to think about. All right, SPY starting to come down here. So that's why I'm staying in the VIX. The NVDL already going into the green there for me. I'm about to add on that. Yeah, I like that add there. Want it to bounce a little bit here. 72.80s. I don't mind for an add there. See if I can get that. Maybe 72.88s, 72.90s here. Looking for a bounce to add on that NVDL. Now I want to see that VIX go into the green here. SPY, will the SPY break that low? The 525.40 area on the Qs just keeps holding there. Now that's one area that could come right back up. And the SPY is right there, right? I mean, it's just chomping all around there. I don't think the SPY is leading today. I think what's holding things up are the Qs are still relatively strong. There's some names in here that are holding well. So basic materials, AG, though, silver, really good move today. MAG now continuing to the upside. Gold, those types of names doing well there. AU is one that I like on the pullback here for 26. But that's just my gold outlook there. NVDL now going further down there. So that's looking really good on that NVIDIA. Just need the Qs to break here, and then the VIX will go into the green, and then we'll be looking really good. Don't want to add to this position. Just want to keep grinding that NVDL down further. And I didn't get a bounce fill there. So we could go further and further down there. It did go to 72.80. So I'm going to put one there. But I think this could keep kind of coming down right here. It's going to be all dependent on that Q's 5 minutes. If the Q's rip through 526, might have to get out here. NVIDIA still looking pretty heavy there. So is the SPY. Just need that downside action to really come in. I normally would add to the VIX in this situation, and that's when I've been doing it wrong, I'm going to say here. So I'll show you that VIX trade right now, but this is where I've been adding a lot of the times where I've been doing it wrong, right? If I'm expecting this to come back up and go into the green, wait to getting that move, and a break towards this resistance is really what I need to do. So I can't add till 42, but if I can get that pop back through 41.75 towards 42, then it's a nice setup. If I add here, I'm just increasing risk. You can see that NVIDIA trade coming right back up there. So just got to be careful on both sides of this. There's the SPY making a hard down move. Now can I get the Qs to follow? So let's see if the Qs come and follow here. VIX just jumped there for me. That's a good sign there. NVDL rejected getting back up above the 60s there. I'm going to go for an add here in NVDL. All right, no add just yet. Now I'm seeing the SPY tumble. Now I'm trying to go for it, but the Qs still haven't broken. That's why I haven't added. All right, VIX coming back near my entry here, guys. In a second here, I'm going to make sure that I don't start to lose a good amount on this trade if the Qs come right back up. All right, so now establishing $40 in risk, so at least I won't lose like the 80 or 60 that I was just on. So I'm giving it the chance to pop and for the SPY to come down here. NVDL, let's see if it really wants to break down. All right, let's see if the Qs can reject here. There they are, going a little heavier. Now I'm going to go for it in NVDL. Going for it. Just put the limit out there to add in the 60. It's going down fast, man. Fast there. It's NVIDIA down. Woo! That's a hard hit there. All right, just putting at the 7250s as this flushes down. NVIDIA going down fast there. Up 145 now on NVIDIA, and the VIX should get into the green here. Let's see if the VIX starts to get into the green. Missed my ad there. That would have been a nice little ad there. I'm going to cancel the ad now and just let this NVIDIA kind of work with the share size that I have. No stop in place right now for that NVDL. Just going to go watch the VIX as that's doing well for me here. So let's see if the VXX can start to take off here. All right, just looking for a nice little breakout above the 42s here. Let's see if it can start to get the moves there and the Qs can break down a little bit further and reject that spot. Alert on X pulling back here to the 39.19s as we are getting some pullback on those names. Be careful out there, guys. We are seeing a little bit of some pullback now. All right, guys, now NVIDIA trying to break through another low here. I'm just watching that VXX. That's probably going to be one that and really, to tell you the truth, I mean, I don't need it if NVIDIA is going to be doing that well. All right, guys, small stop out there for the VXX. Might get hit on the downturn as I see the Qs bouncing a little bit there, but don't want to open myself up for more risk here. Just want to make sure I get myself paid in NVIDIA, so I'm watching that. Let's see if this can just go lower and then we get to 200. All right, just got out of that VXX, so now down 70. Really got to get myself paid. Back into the green here is the motive here. Let's see if the NVIDIA can keep going lower here. I'm going to throw it up there for just a second here so you guys can see it. NVDL, of course, this is the bullish one. I could have gone the other one and kind of gone to the short ways. I just shorted the long one. But we did break down this trend line here, and now we got to look to see if we come back. We did come back and reject this level. So a good level to watch there would be for us to hold these lows. So around the 7250s, it could bounce there. So I'm keeping that in mind, but looking for the break of the 72, that could go to the 71. Nice breakdown there, almost towards that 72 now. Let's see if it breaks that 72 and really starts to give it up. We could get a bounce here and it can go right back up to the top side. So that's what I'm keeping in mind here. See if we can get one more leg here. Seeing some bounce potential on the Qs, so that's why I'm really watching this. Come on. Give me that nice little 200 winner. Let's go. All right, looking for that rejection of 72 now. Let's go. Let's go. Don't want it back above the VWAP now. Back above VWAP shows me that it's bouncing, and then I'm just going to get out. There's the SPY going down further, so I just want the Qs to break that 525 now. Go towards like 525.20s. Let's see if we get it. Here's that downside look for the breakdown here. Let's go, NVIDIA. 72, 72.10. Can it break the 72 here? There's 72s going for the breakdown. Now it's coming back. That's when it whipsaws right back here. So just be careful about that. There's the Qs going for the break there. That's going to help that VIX trade. I'm out of that VIX trade, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm looking to make the money where the money's giving it to me. And it seems like it's giving it to me in NVIDIA. I'm trying to ride that trend. There's the Qs now down to that 525.20s. Now I'm looking for the continued breakdown in the SPY. SPY's the 607. It could start coming back here. Yeah, it looks like we're getting some kind of bounce here. Just got to be careful for a little bounce here and see if it starts to break. Qs going for that leg lower again. SPY going for that leg, another leg break at 607. Let's see if it breaks through. Pulling back pretty significantly is the SPY right now. There's another leg going for it. There's another breakdown trying to get there. 606.90s now showing up there on the SPY. SPY is hitting the bid right now. Let's see if the Qs go right back towards that 525.20s. There it comes. Qs coming right back for that level. NVIDIA getting a little bounce there. I am noticing that, but you see that bounce there. That's what I was trying to avoid there, because then the Qs start looking like a VWAP bounce type of trade. I'm going to take the money here. 114 available for me, and I'm going to take it if it hits it, which is right around this 40. I'll give it a second here. There, out there, guys. Just took the money, took 99, back into the green. That's it. Just trying to get back into the green and keep playing the game, right? So I did get a little bit of an update, guys. I do see that we're having some kind of issues with the leaderboard. So there's going to be a new list that is announced. So stick around, guys. Stick around for you guys that were looking for the leaderboard. There is going to be some change there going on. All right, looking around out there, guys. Let's go. APP short. I like that mentality, man. I do like that mentality. Ooh, look at that. Mo heat. That's a really good strategy of mine. This is the VWAP fade. So that's a big breakdown right out the gates. Come back, reject that VWAP, then reject it again. On the third time, it's very important. That's that real wipeout look. You got it just now there on App Loving. So nice little breakdown there, Mo Heat. Hope you were able to nail that one. VIX did get the jump there towards 41.89, did pull back slightly there and just cut me out right before this nice little lift. We'll look to see if it gets to the 42. Was able to make some cash today, and now I'm just going to look to reassess, right? Mobileye pulling back there as we are starting to get some more pullback in the market. Let's see if the Qs can hold here, though, for any second, and then actually work their way right back to the upside. So doesn't mean it's a complete breakdown. Microsoft held well. Apple is still holding well, even though it pulled back. It didn't even come back to the VWAP. That's a sign that there's still some strength here. Google would be a sign to get strong here. So that's one that I haven't seen break out that I think it could here. I think it has potential above the 177 level. So let's see if it can hold this and start to push back towards that 177. So I know that I was looking bearish just a second ago, and I still have that mentality, but that's if the Qs don't get back above the VWAP. If they do, then things can start looking bullish again. That's just the way the market works. All right, guys, it's about 10:20. At 10:30, I'll announce some new stock trading competition winners, as we have a new list. So anybody that was told to be a winner beforehand, we're going to have to adjust that. So just give me a second, guys. I'll be announcing that in just a little bit. Lulu continuing the climb. That's looking well. Google holding well right now. Just needs to start coming right back up here. I like this outlook for Google. Oh, and just like that, NVIDIA jumped right back down there towards the 7220s, but it's moving all around. The Qs are starting to chomp around a little bit. Now coming back here. SPY starting to try to come back a little bit. So just keep watch out there, guys. It's back and forth. It's not just one sector in the red today, so you just got to watch it. XLU, though, continuing to break down. This is a trade that I talked about when it started to turn on this 82 day. We actually drew something there. Let's see if I have it drawn. No, I don't, man. That's a little frustrating. But we talked about how utilities are starting to get weak, and this trade is starting to turn. So this trade right here is definitely one that I think we got to keep watching. The utilities trade back to the downside. So names like Duke, names like Southern Company, names like Excel, could be all coming right back down, right? And Nextera Energy, there's so many names in that space. You got Southern Corp. You can look at the high cap names. PCG, right? Could keep coming back down. AEP, Dominion. You see how weak they are. They're definitely breaking down. These are also good to maybe look at potential scalps for the downside. Netflix also looking weak today. Yeah, strong name looking weak, right? We'll see what happens there. We're definitely seeing some type of turnaround. What about the Disney short? I think this is a good one. This is a good one, guys. This looks decent for me. This is my type of swing, right? So I called the swing on the upside. That was through the 100. Now I'm calling the swing on the downside of the House of Mouse. The House of Mouse has mouses, and it's going back down. That's what I'm seeing. We'll see what happens. If we continue to leak in the SPY today, if we go back to the red action, yeah, Disney's one that I'd be looking for some continued breakdown, as that looks like a bull trap out the gates there today. So we'll see what happens there in Disney. It's so much that I feel like putting out a tweet, but I'm not going to do that. We'll see what happens there. Kodiak Sciences, Biotech, KOD making a big push today, guys, on the smaller cap names. This one, nice little lift there. Now starting to pull back. ZJK, the top winner, at least stock that won the prize, trying to get moving a little bit today. We'll see if it does get moving. $15 is going to be very important for it to break today. It's holding well. I just can't trade that thing. Yin, the China stocks, pulling back a little bit here, of course, with the market. These could pull back a little bit further. That's my thing about these China names. They're very hard to play. XPEV, the China autos, also getting a lift, but also pulling back. CDIO, getting a little bit of a 60-cent little push there. Maybe this one can get there towards 75 today, 80 cents. Tiger Financial, penny name that loves to rip here. Definitely more of your squeeze type of name, TIGR, and this is one of your China fintech names, right? And so that's why you're seeing this up. And is this the one behind Mumu? I think it is. BTDR, Bitcoin names getting walloped on the downside, and CleanSpark made the move to 15, now pulling back a little bit further. Riot, of course, with that offering, that probably hurt it and hurt some names in the space. And you see in Mara taking a big hit to the downside there. Not what you want to see there. Financials pulling back fast. That's why the SPY, I think, is so down compared to the Qs, is those financials really whopping that. Qs right back down there. So I'm going to go with this NVDL again here. I'm going to go NVDL again, short NVDL again, guys. Just seeing the breakdown come right back in, and I'm just going right back after it. SPY coming down fast here, guys. Q's going down fast. We're seeing the weakness come in to the market there. All right, just added there on that short. Going to take a little bit more of an approach here for a bigger trade, as I have some cash here. and I'm back into the green, right? If it goes right back to the lows, I'm at 300 in the green, and I could risk right off of this 73 area right above it. All right, starting to get into the green there, looking good there. I do like Lulu going back down also, but that's just another one that I'm looking at here, guys. Seeing the Qs and the SPY really get hit there. All right, that's looking good there. Now we're starting to see some further downside there. Some good leak there. Now up about 90 bucks on NVIDIA or NVDL here. I'm going to go ahead and set a break even and look for some more trades out there, guys. Lulu's one that I like right here. I've been shorting Lulu a couple of times and making some cash on this. So the big idea with Lulu is I start with like 25 shares and try to add on to it to 50 shares, 80 shares. It's not a bad little setup here for it to come right back down. Look at that, up 120 there in NVIDIA, and I'm definitely seeing the weakness come around out there as we're really starting to see some weakness come right back into this market here. So definitely the weakness out there. SoFi got a downgrade today. We're seeing some of these fintech down big. Now look at this NVDL, now up about 200 here. So in a second, got to go ahead and just make sure that I'm paying myself, right? So that's what I'm going to do now. Make sure I pay myself there. 98 bucks here. Ooh, it's coming back fast there. I'm going to give it a second here because it's trying to come back and stop me out here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That was a quick little spike back to 72.60. Would have had my stop out there. Would have got hit right now. So I'm looking for that continued downside because we are leaking out here. 606.50s on the SPY, below the low on the Qs. So definitely saw that downside come in there. The VIX to 42 here. We'll see what happens though. Downside, if it comes into Apple, that's when I really start to get a little bit concerned. And there's some more downside that could come in here. AMD really weak today, so definitely down on that action. Industrials down today, also definitely taking a hit. Those XLU names. Looking around at some other action here. Basic materials even going down now. Can we get a little bit more in this NVIDIA trade? I'm trying to hold on right now. I'm up about 108, just looking for it to come right back towards the low. There's some hard downside action in the Qs to the downside, and down she goes. Down she goes. 524s now almost on the Qs. So that's looking really good here as NVDL starts to really kind of break down a little bit further. Lulu. Let's go. 224 now available for me. Now I'm going to start to really kind of hone in and try to make sure that I at least take 200 on this. All right, there, guys. I have a 198 now already available to me. I'm just looking for the push into the 400 spot, and I'll take the 400 and run out of here. Let's see if I can get it here. Starting to get a push back. It might hit my 200 here. There it goes towards the 72s. Just want the 72s to break. I put a stop there. Lulu is one that I'm looking at right now to take some more money into this. Let's see if I can get it. I think Lulu gets another bounce here before I can get it. So I'm just going to wait here to see if it goes to the 417. But there's some other sides out there that look good here. NVDL now really coming down here. So I'm just trying to make the cash out there, guys. 312, 344 is now. NVDL might just pay me here. I'm going to put it closer to it right now. The stop loss, I'm moving it close to it also here. Just trying to get paid. Boom, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Sound that alarm. Money in the house. Taking that money here, guys. I'll look for a little bounce there, but there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Now 407 up. That's what we talk about. Getting that money. Sound that alarm. Sound that trumpet. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Let's go, team. Not a bad little money bag. Getting that cash today. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Not a bad little let it rain out there, guys. Taking that money today. Let's go. Sometimes you just got to grab that money and take it with you, guys. So definitely saw that little break there off that 72. Could stay in the name, but that's just pushing it, man. That's just pushing it. And I'll look to see if I can get some other trades now as we see the continued collapse. And I look to see if there's some more collapse. XRT, there's other names that could start to break down. GME breaking down a little bit today. And we started to see some names pop in here. ZJK and the small names getting a little bit of a pop there. I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole, but I just wanted to let you guys know that it's moving out there. There's China names starting to pull back there. They could pull back a little bit further. So just want to take a look at that to see how that trade's developing. App continuing down to 341. We'll look to see if that one gets a bounce or not. But the SPY now bouncing and the Q's now bouncing. So just be careful. At least I was able to ride that momentum there and take some good cash there in NVDL. So that I looked for a little bit more pop in Lulu and then the drop. So let's see if we get it. I don't mind at least risking a little bit of the cash here today, but had a really good day. 407's not a bad day at all. So what do I need to see here? I need to see the Qs reject and continue going lower. NVIDIA reject and continued going lower. So that's looking good there, but could always recollect, right? And I think that's one thing that sometimes we get too kind of narrative driven and we think it's just going to continue to move in one way. A lot of times it comes back and then it goes back down. That's why I was happy I was able to go back into NVDL, take the cash on the bounce back, then short it again and hammer down. So really good trade there in NVDL today, bouncing back with that trade. And you guys can see I took some trades in the red, right? 1 trade in the red, 2 trades in the red, right? 3 trades in the red, right? And then bouncing back, 1 trade, 2 trades, and up $407. That's what it's all about. What is that? That's risk to reward. Just keeping that in focus, right? Is so important. And the VIX trade wasn't a bad one. Continued, went to that 42.10. We'll look to see if we get some more trade on out there. But yeah, guys, that's at least was able to cash in my trade. Right now, I'm going to announce the competition winners. It looks like we had some issues with the leaderboard, so stick around. I'm going to go ahead and do that in just a second here. But just trying to ride the opportunities that are out there. Cleveland Cliff with another move to the upside. So that tells me to look to maybe seeing X trying to give it to me. It's trying to give it to me. I like X here. I'm going to look to see if I can ride up a little bit of some X trend here. Doesn't look bad at all. I like Cleveland Cliff. And so this is pretty much like a 15-minute recovery. So it went down back to the hourly low, and then now it's holding. So hourly support, 39. Now could come back through the 39.50s. So that's the perspective of this trade. Let's see what happens here on X. X trying to give it to me. He's trying to give it to me. X trying to give it to me. All right, did pull back towards this like 39.07, which was a good kind of breakdown look, and now recovery. Just looking for some volume to come in here on this X trade, and it looks good. Doesn't look bad at all. I kind of like the action there. Like the swing around there. Let's go to the deeper time frames. 5 minutes still hasn't crossed over, so I'm just looking at that action. It could still just chomp around and kind of stay within this, so I'm looking to see if it can break up out of this first. All right, I'll let you know that 39.30s, but let's go ahead. Let's talk about what's going on out there with the competition. NVIDIA still coming down here. So NVDL now to 71.50s, cashing, man. As if you guys still had that trade, I mean, that's another 50 cents. That's another, what, $200 there? So definitely I closed it a little fast today, but that's okay. That's okay because I've been missing out on some of the profits, and I want to keep working on that. But look at that now, 71.39 and a breakdown in the Qs for sure. Now looking a little bit heavier. Now Apple's probably going to be even been pulling back there. Tesla is now back down to 385. Remember what I talked about with Tesla? I said, hey, be careful with Tesla going above 400 and then back down 10 points. Well, it's actually further than that, guys. It's 15 points now. So just be careful out there with that Tesla, guys. She's a dragon, and when she gets beat, she likes to tame people, and there you guys have it. She's taming some people today. SMCI is another one that's down, and I would not be messing with on a day like today, but we'll see what happens there. Deere pulling back there, looking at Cat. Cat has made a big pullback here. Let's see if this industrial play can catch this pullback. It's not a bad action pullback here for it to break right back up out of this and back into, let's say, the 410 area. So I kind of like this pullback here. The market would need to catch. So it's trying to catch like an hourly resistance. Hourly resistance is right around the 402 spot. Let's go to a little bit of a shorter time frame, see if we can get this undercut towards 402, and then a recovery right back on Caterpillar. Duo getting the lift there, guys. This one lifted above the $1, continuing the move there. ASST trying to break above the 75 spot here. CDIO at the 60 spot, trying to push up. A lot of these penny names, penny stocks, like real penny stocks, something to look at. IWM pulling back today. I was looking to see if the IWM was going to make a rip out today. I'd keep an eye out on the IWM in the next couple of days to see if we can get some type of action there. Yin continuing there, holding back on China. But all right, that's enough of market talk. Let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and catch the new winners here and kind of let you guys know who really took it. Oh no, is this true? Oh man, this couldn't be true. I feel bad now. But let's go ahead. Let's get through this. Let's talk about the leaderboard. All right, guys. So there was some issues there with the last day. It looks like populating. So I do want to announce the kind of the new list here. Just give me a second to see if I have like an image for this. Should be on the image here, but just give me a second here, guys. All right, just give me 2 seconds, guys. All right, there we go. We did get an update. All right, there we go. I have it right behind me, but I'm gonna get this up for you guys. Just give me a second here. All right, guys. So I do want to announce, guys, that there was a slight issue earlier. So I was told that those were the leaders, but looks like we had a little mistake on the Friday action there. So I want to announce who really won. Yes, there's someone that was hanging out here in the back that I think, was really looking for it. You know it, George. You know it, my friend. Looks like someone was able to catch up to the one, the only Day Trade with Tony. Looks like the man, the myth, the legend, George Armando Moreno Goreca. I hope I said that right. Where are you from, George? With that name. Look at that name. That's a big boy name there. Look at that. RADX $61,000 trade up to $134,000. Well, you caught Day Trade with Tony, that's for sure. I'm sure Day Trade with Tony out there is being like, what is going on out there? But definitely, Jorge Moreno, shout out to you. Gotta give you some love. Hey, man, I'm from Mexico, currently living in the U.S. Dude, big shout out to you, my friend. I'm proud of you. And for anybody that can attempt to do these style of trades and actually make the profit, power to you, my friend. 53% win streak there. Win percentage also tells me you're doing similar stuff that Day Trade with Tony is doing. Let's just be honest, right? He had 55% win streak too. So, hey, not a bad money either on the 80-20 split. That wouldn't be a bad money at all, man. Friday was a great day for me. I could not believe it. Hey, George, this is what it's all about, right? It's just about having the opportunity to see what you potentially could do with all this cash, right? And really, hey, man, blessings are for you, man. Sometimes they just fall into your laps, and you got a great trade on, George, that really brought you to the top. So congratulations, my friend. You're going to be the one receiving the extra 160,000 buying power. The super buying power will go to Day Trade with Tony. And then, of course, there's the list there from the 4th to the 10th prize will be there, a mini 20,000 buying evaluation. So there are some names that might have adjusted there. I'm not going to go through every single one, but definitely if you're able to make this list, that's a pretty top trade list here, guys. And honestly, I can tell you guys, making any of this type of money in this amount of time is absolute bonkers. And just goes to show you that maybe potentially with the right evaluation and the right strategy, maybe you can repeat this, right? It's not easy. I'm not going to say that this is easy to do these kind of statistics, right? But it can be done. I'll say it again. It can be done. And just that enough makes me happy, makes me super excited to go trading in the limited account and the limited evaluation. And also tells me, hey, Mitch, maybe the 400 today, let's just call it quits. Let's keep pushing in the right direction. Now I'm up close to 800 on the extra buying power, and I want to keep pushing for that, right? Of course, check out our new limited accounts. Those will really help you find the most of the advantage, right? This competition has really lifted my confidence, Mitch. Yeah, that's what it should do, Mohit, is understand that it can lift your confidence. Also understand this is a little bit different. It's a competition account, but what I could potentially do, what my skills really have. And I think that that's why it's so important to take it like the same way you would take the evaluations. It's just bigger size. And maybe you take the size down a little bit, but even if it's, let's say, half of this, if you're making half of this in a month, you're still absolutely destroying it, right? $134,000. I mean, let's just be honest. You're making 70K a month. You're rich, like not even little rich, you're big rich. And you know, you could always call your boy Money Mitch. We can drive around in Lamborghinis and play Mario Kart on the street. That's fine with me. But yeah, definitely smash the like, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it's moments like this that get you guys to continue pushing forward. And another apology from me personally to Day Trade with Tony. Sorry that I announced you as the winner, my friend. You got second place. It's okay. Honestly, I'm proud of you myself because the trade that you made was absolutely bonkers. And probably you didn't even know that you were losing that first place prize. So, hey, it is what it is. I'll tell you one thing. I'm definitely proud of both of you guys just completely destroying it. So also understand, George, Day Trade with Tony, and anyone on that list or anybody in the TTP community, if you're looking to come on and you want to come on the show, talk about trading, I always have the door open, guys. You guys are always welcome in. The key thing, like always, is just being transparent, being honest, talking about processed approach, and helping other traders. We're not here to step on each other. We're here to help each other out because we all want success. And if for anybody out there that wants to step on each other, we'll go that way. Because in here, we're building a actual supporting community that's trying to see everybody get towards what they're looking for. Step one, funded, and step two, of course, paid out, right? Because that's what we're all looking for in the end. That's why I keep it 100 with you guys, and we're going to keep it going right here. All right, guys, that's going to probably do it for us in just a little bit. I'll start wrapping it up, guys. It's 10:44, but good action today, indeed. Let's go back to the market. Let's take a look at what's going on here and seeing what we're seeing. And look how yin right back to the upside. So the China names pushing right back up here as we're taking a look. And we're still seeing some downside in the market. BABA got a nice little bounce off that VWAP. So it just shows me more and more. Keep an eye on those China names, XPEV, all similar action there, holding well. All right, let's go to the overall market there. The Qs came down there. Now they bounced and could come right back down again. So NVDL could reject the 72 and come right back down. I think what you got to look at is Apple. Look how the strength in Apple is going up, yet the market's coming down. Where's the money going to? A lot of times when a big player is getting hit, money rotates to the other player. So why does this happen? Because it's called ETF effects. It's just a part of the way that the ETFs work, right? So you got to keep that in mind. And I think that's something definitely to think about, right? So right here is clearly one of those moments where I think you're seeing NVIDIA get hit and they're rotating their profits back into Apple. They're also rotating their profits back to other big tech like Microsoft, I'm seeing. And let's see if Google can get back into the green today. I talked about how this 177 is very present and could make a move. So take a look at the hourly, how Google's holding on here. It's holding on very well. And I think it could make the move in a little bit. It just needs the Qs to come back into the green sense, right? And of course, We're seeing the Qs get hit today. So I'll just keep watch on this, because if it starts to rebound, 177 is a good watch there in Google. Meta, another name that's been hot, pulling back fast. That tells me, again, where some of the money's coming out of and where the money's going in. Amazon, it was making a big Black Friday move. Now looking a little toppy, could start pulling back. Nike coming back. Now that's one that I want to keep an eye out for. Also, that's back above the 79. I do like this one if it can start going back into the green. What needs to happen? The SPY needs to bounce and start going back to the VWAP. XRT needs to bounce and hold on. Show me an up move here. Lulu is still holding on there. That's why I'm not going to go short it, but it did do that little kind of blow off look that I like, which is this one right here. The last 5 minutes, this 418, this 420, nice little push higher, and then a rejection. That's the one I've been shorting as of late that's been working for me, but I'm not going to open another trade here. I'm going to be smart. Mitch, you nailed a really good trade. Don't push it and keep going. That's the same thing that I'm thinking in my head, that I let you guys know so that you guys can learn from my experience, right? Because that's what it's all about, man. All right, let's keep going, guys. I see a lot of you guys out there on X, on Twitter. Smash the like. Let's keep it moving. Let's see if we can find one more trade setup here before I get out of here. All right, seeing some other names moving out there. I'm seeing ASST, another penny stock. These penny stocks keep moving, guys. These real penny names today. And I'm seeing so many out there that are real pennies. What I mean by real pennies, underneath $1. So these are making moves. It's done up 1, up 2, up 3. This is the up 4 where it needs to just break out or fail. So at this point, I'd look at it to see if maybe it gets to the $1 now, and I could hold off that 75 or maybe the 82 cents. So I don't mind this one. You just got to step up to the plate with a dollar stock like this, right? You got to go big sizing and look for small amounts of cents. Like let's say 10, 15 cents, 20 cents on this is really good. All right, we'll see what happens on that one. Just to mention some other names out there. This one actually taking a hard hit to the downside and then bouncing back. This one could take another hit right back down. So this is one of those that they'd actually short. And there's not many times where you can short a stock like Hoover, right? Anywhere else, I'll tell you right now, you probably wouldn't be able to short this. X trying to give it to me. He's trying to give it to me. I'm watching X there overall. We'll see what happens on it. See if it can get back to the green side. Cleveland Cliff holding on. Q's though dragging, guys. That's going to be ugly if it keeps going. So NVDL at the 7130s could have shorted again around that 72 when it was right back up here. So we'll see what happens if it does break the lows, but back and forth there. MSTR, the crypto names just going down fast there. So definitely a big pullback on those crypto names, and they could continue to pull back here. Nike still holding on as it rebounded. That's one name that I think is rebounding here. It's a good action to look to see if it can rebound completely. Maybe get back to 80 today. Microsoft starting to break down there now. So that's one name that was super strong that's starting to pull back. So you can see here a big trend line, a nice break to the upside, tried to break out, and now starting to kind of fail here at this 444.70. Look to see if Apple also pulls back. Apple so strong, but it could pull back, and it's been holding this. If it comes back to the VWAP, that's like the name that's holding up this market right now. And so is Tesla, but Tesla pulled back there now towards 385. And if it keeps going lower, we're going to see that downside keep creeping in. QMCO still holding on that. IonQ pulling back a little bit there. All right, guys, it's 10:50-ish. I'm going to start to wrap up in just a second here, just looking around to see if there's anything else being mentioned out there. There is a big watch this week to see what happens on inflation. That's one thing I'll be waiting for. 750 million for Soto. Whoa. Looking around out there, there's always some talk. An eye for an eye, and Nvidia for a TikTok. I don't know, man. Nvidia. All right, guys, let's keep it going. Rivian up too, guys, off that Tesla move, right? So, yeah, definitely see that. Ford and GM, I talk about it. Just leaders to laggards, right? I love that type of action. All right, we'll see if Mobileye can keep going. That's at 1820s, but has pulled back with the overall market action. The market just kind of tumbling there. VIX overall now towards 4230. So that one could have been a good trade for me too, right? I didn't push it on those, and I think that's an important thing. It's okay to get out of them, look to get back in. Those China names, though, continuing there. Baba now getting another lift there. So definitely seeing those China names as names that are holding on here. What's another China name that maybe we're missing that maybe you're not trading that could be getting a lift there? A name to watch, guys, in the next couple of days is going to be Starbucks. I think it's just something that I'll be looking at. Nothing that I'm trading right now. I'm just taking a look at it. SEDG, some solar stocks getting a lift today. I don't know why, but we are seeing some big moves in some solar stocks. JKS definitely getting a lift also. So just keep a watch on that. Definitely seeing that solar stocks getting a big push here. I'm not sure why the solar stocks are pushing. I'll be honest. They're getting a nice lift off though. What is going on in solar? That's one area I just don't know right now. And you know me, I'm usually up to par with these things. Solar Edge begins shipping U.S. edition home battery and expanding the company's end-to-end domestic content portfolio, and that's why SEDG is up. Not sure, man. There's not really much why solar would be getting this push, but first solar seen benefiting as U.S. imposes steep anti-dumping rates on panel imports. So it looks like there's some action there that could be affecting that. That came though way back on December 2nd. And these stocks have been hot since the 2nd. Yeah, that was that pop, and it's coming back there. So that's something to look into, guys. It's this headline here. So I'll give you guys the insight. This is how Money Mitch finds trades, guys, and finds the moves. So finding news like this is so important. We're seeing solar stocks up. We're seeing mentions of this anti-dumping rates on panel imports. So I'm meaning to look in, understand more of this story to see why solar stocks can be getting the juice. Something to look at. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Like always, guys, TTP Live, talking everything, talking trades, talking the leaderboard. Shout out to George and Day Trade Tony. You guys, the real champs out there, bowing down today for sure, without a doubt, guys. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys maybe jump on the show sometimes and keep trading with us. Smash that like. We'll keep pushing right here on TTP. Of course, check out the deals that we have right now. We have some brand new limited accounts that really give you the best potential for success, right? So definitely take a look at that out there. We'll see you guys back tomorrow morning, guys. And don't forget, it's Tuesday. I'll be starting up at 9 a.m. tomorrow as I go to Trader TV live, right? I do an interview on there, guys. Come over there and come check me out with the boys, right? Talk some trades, talk some trade ideas, and then I'll be on here at 9 a.m. Smash the like, guys. Like always, we're going to keep pushing forward. And I wish you guys all the success that you guys can have, especially towards the end of the year and 2025. Let's keep pushing. You know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool, guys.